Welcome to the Fresh Bride podcast. This is an opportunity for you to get a real world experience from two amazing people who celebrated their love story with the entire Fresh New Angle crew. And we are honored to have the fabulous Angelina and this handsome Angelo, who just celebrated 3 perfect 10s, a birthday. So we're happy birthday to you,
Thank
handsome.
you.
Very cool. So, just wanted to kind of give you guys a chance to kind of come in here. We're past a year
Yep.
from when we had our amazing celebration. And, I want to hear about kind of what life's been like since the wedding.
Life's been great.
Yeah.
I said married life is great.
I love to hear it. And, I want to even back up and kind of get to how did we get to married life. So let's go and tell a love story. Now, listen, you can give however you want to give with the love story. If you want to kind of go down a road or whatever, but every love story is a roller coaster, and it continues to be as you are married. 10 years in, my love with my wife and I is amazing. Where we get, it goes deeper, but it gets different, and it's different in a good way. But tell, how'd you guys meet?
We went to OCC together and we had English class together, and we sat next to each other, and it just kind of started out as like a friendship, and just kind of went from there.
Now, were you assigned those seats, or did you kind of pick the seat?
No, we just picked the seats. It just happened. Like, I sat in one chair, she sat in the other, and then kind of just stuck around for a whole semester.
I love that.
You know?
That's cool. I like
Yeah.
where this is going. I like to think you were going in there with the thought of, let me just survey the room a hot minute just to.
Oh yeah, I mean, any college age guy, that's what you're doing when you get into your classroom.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad, because then I want to give you a little bit more credit, because not for nothing, that was strategic planning.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're okay to go ahead and put a plan in place. I remember when the day I met my wife, I went to a networking event. I was invited as a guest to just be a part of a grand opening, actually, for a real estate business. And, at the time, thinking DJ guy, wedding guy, doesn't really have a connection to the real estate market, but said, I'm single. We got a free lunch and probably going to meet a successful young lady.
Right.
So I kept my eyes open, and I did, and I met her. So boom, there you go.
The rest is
we got
history.
the right idea, exactly. So the rest is history. So this love story that began in English class, this literature classic that we're writing here. Take me through a little bit more. Take me through some more highlights of kind of some of the good stuff that kind of happened after that.
I mean, we started officially dating in January of that year. That was
Yeah.
2016?
Yeah, so almost about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yo, that's awesome. So you're basically met around the same time as me and my wifey. Very cool.
Yeah.
That-
And then,
It was kind of weird because, he, slid into the DMs. And it was funny how he kind of, approached him, was like, hey, here's my number. I kind of have a funny story to tell you. And his grandfather actually knew my dad from, years ago.
from like the 80s.
And when I told my dad who he was, and he was like, oh my God, he's like, are you kidding me? He's like, I've known him since I came here from Italy. So it was just
Yeah.
weird how
The familiar, it
Yeah.
got familiar
Yeah.
quick.
yeah,
So
Love that. That's family.
Yeah.
I love that.
one of the first, I think literally the first 3 people that her father ever met when he came here from it was my grandfather. So
Yeah.
it was kind of crazy.
it's kind of meant to be.
So when did Dad come over from Italy?
Ooh, it's I think over.
Was it 86?
Yeah, I believe
Right.
so.
I think it's been 40 years that he's been here now.
Wow. And then you came first generation here. Wow.
Yeah.
And so very cool. And so the first kind of person that he met, your father met was your grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sort of like kind of took him under his wing a little bit.
A little bit.
Just
Yeah.
whatever. Showed him a couple things. And,
Yeah, taught him a few words, probably some bad words.
All right. Hey, listen. I have a lineage too that kind of comes through that path. I believe more of like a second generation for me. But my grandfather was the one, who came over. But very, very, very cool. So, wow, you guys met back in 2016. What and listen, meeting in your 20s, and or even maybe teens. It sounds like toward the end of that 19-ish range. I mean, those are wonderful years. But they're now that you're 30 and toward the end of the 20s, how your mind shift changes, right? And it's just beautiful to see how we grow. And it's very cool to see how your story has evolved, right? And you're able to kind of, work through the 20s, and kind of continue to redefine your relationship. So let's fast forward to some highlights through the years, kind of before the proposal. Any cool trips? The families obviously had there was a familiar thing with the family.
Oh yeah, I mean, we had plenty of good times leading up to well, our story gets a little interesting, but we can get there later. But we had plenty of good times. We did plenty of vacations together. We've gone all over the place doing different things. My family, her family. The dynamic between us is great. Both families get along. We're very fortunate in that fashion. Like Sunday dinner this week, my parents are coming over. We're going to be celebrating her birthday, Father's Day. So it's like all the families are always together and doing things, and it's a really cool dynamic. So the past 10 years, it's been very, for the most part, very easy.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
I love what you said too about the families being able to connect. That's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just allows for less drama, and less things that external factors to sort of affect the overall mood of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And we have a beautiful dynamic too, so I can relate. I had the same thing with the Sunday thing or whatever, where both sides connect. It's lovely. I'm so grateful for that for you both. All right, so let's fast forward to the proposal. Remind us. I know we had a conversation a year ago, but tell the people that are listening. How did the proposal happen?
All right, so I guess we'll just start from the interesting turn of our story.
Okay, go ahead.
We were engaged the first time, and there's the interesting part. And
this is good, by the way. This is good. Thank you for being real, and thank you for doing this, because this is the kind of stuff that I believe that if people are kind of sticking around and staying for this interview, there's things that can help people, and it's important to know that yes, it is the fairy tale. I get it. We understand the wedding. I know the wedding. Forget it. Was unreal, and we're going to get there and talk about that. But the journey before and after is where it all goes. And so I love that you're going to be a little bit vulnerable here and just talk a little bit about the first time that there was an engagement.
Yeah. So it was December of 2019, right before COVID happened. Everything was sunshine and rainbows. Things are great, and then the world shut down. Things got a little weird. Trying to plan a wedding during that time was very difficult. On top of that, we were renovating a home and all that, so we had all that stress going on, plus just the stress of the outside world with the uncertainty in the beginning of what was going on.
Yeah.
And then we didn't know, where things were going to go, and it was kind of hard because we're like, well, what do we do? Postponing wedding, and things got a little shaky, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
There's a lot of external stress and stuff, so we split up for a brief period of time.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it was about a year. But I always say, during that year, it was almost like we were never really fully split up.
Yeah, I understand. Finding yourselves, doing work on yourselves.
Yeah.
You did the thing where you take the time apart to really dive deeper on who you are. I can relate. I have a story similar too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was one of those things where just finding what was important to us and figuring out what we wanted to do in our life, and It was not an easy year for either of us.
No.
It was very difficult, but you know, we never really lost contact with each other, and we'd always kind of talk to each other every now and then. And
We would also see each other out here and there, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah.
so
there
it
was no.
yeah, it wasn't like there was no contact.
Yeah.
But then eventually we were able to talk about things and get to a place where we agreed upon everything, and we moving forward set like a new, I guess I don't want to say standard, but like a new standard for what we wanted in life and how we were going to go about it. And it's been amazing ever since. And that was what, almost 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the version I've seen,
Yeah.
which is and I have to tell you, again, I would have never known this backstory based on what I see, what I saw 2 years ago when we started, 3 years ago, whenever we started this planning
Yeah.
process, to where we are today, and I'm proud of that for you both. It's,
Thank you.
It's lovely. It's just great.
Yeah, I say like we have like one of the best love stories ever.
No, it's fantastic.
Because you know we kind of went through almost like a movie, right?
Yeah.
It started out really awesome. It got really crappy for a little while, and then we have like the ultimate comeback, and it's been the best it's ever been.
Come on, this is
And like
great.
I'm not saying it to be sappy or like make
No,
that up.
I love it.
It's like, to me, it's the God's honest truth. I don't know that if that didn't happen, I don't think we'd be in the position we're in now.
100%. No, you did the thing.
Yep. And every relationship, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's work, right? Like you have to work on yourself. You have to work on each other. The collective relationship as itself. It's not always easy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you're two people, and people are different. So sometimes you got to work out your differences and compromise. And ultimately, we were able to do that, and I think it's
Yeah.
the best thing that ever happened to our relationship because I think.
We
value
came back
it-
stronger too.
Yeah, and we value each other like way more than we did.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Like you don't. It's cliche, but you don't know what you have until it's gone, and then when you don't have it, like you feel it.
Oh.
Like you know that
And I
year.
think definitely like what's meant to be will be, and don't ever feel like it's like the end of the world. Like you know, we kind of like doing that separation and coming back. Like he said, like we just feel like powerful, I guess, as a couple.
Fair.
And you know, I'm kind of happy that as much as all that happened, like I'm kind of happy where we are today.
I love it. Well, I mean that is tremendous, and to be honest, we could totally break this into a session that's so self-help for so many people.
Yeah.
And I swear I love it, and it's wonderful, and everything you said, you know, is you hit the nail on the head, and all you're doing is just evolving as human beings. You know, work, okay, and just to put it out there, you know, that's a good thing. You know, anything that's worth having is worth working for, right? And then so, you know, you're excited, you're engaged, you're gonna, you know, you're about to have this amazing wedding. It's gonna be the greatest celebration, the whole thing, and then, you know, after the wedding and the dust settles, you know, it's you two. And it's the work that you put in, and then it's the thing you continue to evolve with. You know, I've seen in my world, and now that we have kids and all that, you know, I watched how my wife and I have continued to evolve and change a bit too. So like, you know, what started out one way right now looks different because now there's a whole nother way that we have to sort of work together. So very, very cool. Love it. So tell us now the next proposal. Where did the final proposal happen?
I did it on the beach in Seaside Park on like a random, like, what was it? Like a random, like, it was like a random day of the week. It was like a Tuesday or something.
April 26th,
yeah.
24, I think.
Yeah. So when we got back together, and this just goes to show like how I really knew what I wanted, and I was like, this is it. Within like a month of us like working things out, I went and bought her another engagement ring. Like already, like I held on to it for a year. She didn't know about it. The only people that knew about it were my parents, and I went to her parents.
Nice.
And I told them like, listen, this isn't going to be anytime soon, but like I'm at like this level of commitment, and I'm 100% sure like I have this, and when the time's right, I'm giving it to her.
Nice.
So I held on to it for about a year, and I was just kicking it around. I'm like, I got to do it sometime soon. And then I was at work one day, and I was like, the hell, I'm going to do it when I get home today. So I lied, and I said, let's go to dinner. over at Chef Mike's, which was like one of our favorite restaurants at the time.
Yeah.
And there was no dinner plans. I just took her over there to get her over there. I was like, she's not going to be able to eat dinner after this. She's going to want to run around and show everybody.
Aw.
So she's like, well, what about dinner? I go, that was a lie.
So we're building our foundation on lies. Sweet lies.
Listen, sometimes a little white lie is good for
It
the
needed to be
cause.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was working.
But yeah, so I had it planned for a while, and then it was just a random day. I was like, yeah, let's just get it done and over with. And it was private, and it was just the two of us. Actually, some random woman walking down the boardwalk saw it, and she goes, oh my God, can you just do that again so I could take pictures for you? She's like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. So,
oh, that's great. She got that. What a cool thrill for that lady too, to just kind of like be walking by and see the random engagement.
Yeah,
fantastic. Well, love that. So then, we got engaged. We said, all right, we're doing this thing.
Yep.
We're doing this thing. So, what was kind of the next step for you? So, I think you ultimately ended up finding your wedding venue, right?
Yeah.
How did you come upon choosing the Shadowbrook? And Angelina, maybe bring this in just a little bit for you. Just a little bit. Thank you, honey. Go ahead.
So his cousin, Frankie and Gianna, actually got married at the Shadowbrook. And we went to their wedding, and it was kind of like, oh my God, like, we like fell in love with it. So definitely we made the appointment and went there, and we just both felt like we could see our wedding there. And that was like it. We just like picked it, and I was like, all right, that's fine. And we actually went that weekend. This following
it was almost
weekend,
like a year to the day.
It was like we booked our wedding date on the actual day
Of
May 4th.
yeah, but the year
But
prior.
the year, yeah.
That's right.
And
So there you go. So you booked a wedding venue. Awesome. We fell in love with it, which is great. And I love that. You kind of, and that's probably a good tip too. When you're out there shopping for venues, really try to include the other person, right? Into what you're doing. I understand a lot of times the boys say whatever she wants, the whole thing. And that is the right answer, by the way, whatever she wants. However, there's things about each other and the way your eyes light up or not. When you all can tell, each other. So it's funny. You go to a spot and you both kind of got lost in the sauce and you were like, this is it. And it was kind of like, that was kind of an easy thing to do. I need to be like Daniel's son now and take the chopsticks and get the fly. So we lock in on Shadowbrook. We're excited. We know the thing. What was the, what was kind of the thing that you were most excited about after that? I know that you found, well, how about this? Tell us how you ultimately got to Fresh New Angle. I know that they're, I know that they're, let me hear from you.
so we know Greg, and he was going to be, he actually was, he's friends with his
They might have a
stepdad,
stepfather.
and we've known him and stuff. So we reached out to him to see like, hey, like, are you still doing the photography, videography? And he told us, yeah. And then he told us that he kind of like joined you guys, Fresh New Angle. And then I kind of started talking to you and you were like, hey, do you need a DJ? Do you need, whatever you need, we're here. And we kind of just like, I've known you guys for many years from like different weddings. And I've seen you guys and we kind of just,
Yeah.
You said, let's go, let's kind of trust the process at this point.
Yeah.
And so just to, kind of clear up what that looked like. So, Greg is a phenomenal filmmaker and he wanted to go ahead and get out of the wedding side of things and be more involved in making big films.
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job. We're so proud of him. Greg is fantastic with that. And so he had a team of photographers and videographers that he introduced to Fresh New Angle. And we were able to put a plan in place, which worked for everybody, which sort of allowed Fresh New Angle to sort of absorb, that book of business. And wow, I'm so grateful for it because, we were able to get our hands on a handful of amazing people, but you guys were the cream of the crop. And it was pretty cool because then when we got to talking and just learning and fact finding and the whole thing, we did find out that there was sort of layers of connections to even you and me.
Yeah.
And our groups. I know my mother-in-law, which is fantastic, worked for your family for many years, and I over there at Luigi's. And amazing deli that delicious. And I remember we would go there and get our breakfast sausage all the time from there. We loved that, and amongst so much other great food. And it's wonderful how that worked. And then when I was like, wow, I get to really help you and your family sort of celebrate this love story, it was very cool. And so, yeah, you came to us for photo and video.
Yeah.
And ultimately, through talking to myself, you learned that, we really are that full service company that can kind of handle it all and do it really well with the entertainment, the photo, and the video. And what did that do for the planning process for you? Like knowing that you can come to this company and really finish the rest of the planning. What was that like for you?
I think it was that you guys also like always send out like a checklist, and I've always was like looking at that checklist, and I was like, oh look, like we have to do, like it wasn't even just like DJ photography. It was like, hey, go do your flowers. Hey, do you have like your alterations ready, like planned? Are you like scheduled? It was like invitations, this, that. Like you guys had, it wasn't just the production side. It was more of like everything. So that kind of like helped me. And it was like every month I got like a reminder, an email. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to do this. Or, like grooms, like the groomsmen, we have to go do all their like suits and stuff. So like that was a big help.
Oh, I love to hear that. It makes me feel good because, we put the work in to set up our system, to be able to send out those reminders and to do those different things. And they try to, like, as you say, add value. And we don't always get the chance to hear from you that it actually worked, that it actually does add value, right?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that because we spend money doing these things and the whole thing and whatever. And obviously we had an amazing event, and we'll get into that, and everything was right as far as the way it was supposed to be with, like you said, the entertainment, the photo, the video. But these little things that I guess we have set up behind the scenes meant a lot to you. And that blesses me to know that because, you want to know that the things you do matter.
Yeah, it's like having a built-in like wedding coordinator kind of, She did all the planning on her own. She did obviously a very amazing job at picking everything out and getting everything ready for that day. I was just kind of there for moral support, for lack of a better way to put it. Helped her with some decisions, but nothing too crazy. But anything that kind of took a little bit of extra stress off of her, or gave her reminders with 1,000 things that are on her brain. And with the way she is so like OCD and detailed about everything, having the all-inclusive package that you guys did, like, made it so much easier just to deal with one person,
right,
to get all those things more or less done. And it took a lot off her plate too, because it was just like, okay, I just have to make one phone call and I can get a few different things done. Or it's just a text, hey, what about this, this, and this? And it was very simple. So like, just from an outsider, like watching the planning more or less, like I was like, oh, it's definitely making her life way more simplistic.
Love that. Well, that was that was the main focus, with the umbrella company, right? With Fresh New Angle was to be able to hit the easy button, was to be able to put ourselves in a situation where that can happen. So again, it blesses me to hear that. And I could have assumed this based off of how amazing the night went. I mean, we really use your story, and we use it still to this day, to pretty much show almost all of our potential brides, like, this is the experience that you can expect with our company, and it's pinned on our Instagram. I don't think I'm ever going to unpin it because it's just my favorite piece, because for me, it's a culmination of watching it all come together time and time again with the entire team. And it doesn't matter which one of the professionals in my organization, it's 5-star all across the board. And obviously you had a dedicated team that, we worked together on choosing and selecting. And I know that you guys were thrilled with how that all went down. And with regards to that, take me through what it was like working with the photo and video side of things first, because when we're day of, now we talked about leading up to the day and how Fresh New Angle made it easy and made it convenient and made it stress-free, and gave you the opportunities to sort of like follow the bounce and ball. Now take me through, we're getting up to about a month before the wedding, right? I'm assuming that's probably when we started to really have those conversations, but take me through your photo/video sort of conversations, because I wasn't a part of that. I was on the DJ music side of it. But take me through what that planning process was like before and kind of during and after?
So they like reached out to us and they were like, hey, we could do like a phone call meeting. We can do a FaceTime just to get to know you. And it's definitely good to get to know like your photographer and videographer because they're with you throughout the whole day. And it's more about they want to know what pictures you want, what's important to you. And I have to say, like, I just gave them like a list of exactly what I wanted. And then come the day of, they literally were like with me every like step of the way. So no matter like the poses or the certain pictures, like they are like your main person throughout the whole day. Like I just don't know how to like explain it. Like they're like like behind you every step of the way, and they tell you exactly like sit here, do this, do that. Okay, put your shoes on. Like I was like, how am I gonna know and be ready to be able to go to the like get in time and go to the church? And they're like, don't worry about it. Like we got it. Like there's a whole timeline, and the pictures and the videos that we got from our wedding are incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know. We still share them in like all of our bridal shows. We show them off. What were you gonna say?
No, they're incredible. And then from my perspective, it was when she was talking about like getting to know them, they kind of can feel you out and get who you are as a person, and then they can kind of direct, I think, what the vision of your wedding is a little bit better, right? They understand who you are, your vibe, and what you're looking for, and then they kind of instantly get that spark in their brain to go, this is, I think, the direction we want to go in.
Yeah.
And they crushed it. We were, I guess, one of the lucky ones, I guess, if you want to put it this way. They got rain on our wedding day.
You did.
And of course, every bride is like, oh no, I can't get pictures outside. And
they made the best of it.
let me tell you something. The rain is part of our wedding video, and
It's amazing.
it's amazing.
I got goosebumps.
And they say
Yeah.
it's good luck. And let
You
me tell
guys
you
are
something.
awesome.
It was
The
great. The
photos,
photos,
yeah.
the footage. I mean, the rain was
Just
great.
it actually
Yeah.
worked out great. It was
Yeah.
a wonderful prop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And again, totally what I heard here was, our organization was able to kind of roll with adversity and then turn that into something great.
Yeah.
Was able to sort of be your day of therapist, sort of walk you through the process. Now, I heard you say they kind of directed you a bit on how to do things. Now, explain that further, because there's some people that'll be watching this and they'll be saying, well, that's the thing I don't want. I don't want someone telling me what to do. Now, there's a fine line, I'm sure, between being, first of all, being rude, which isn't what we do, or telling someone what to do, but like also being a professional and sort of guiding them through the process. And did they make you feel like you needed to do something you didn't want to do?
No, not at all.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Everything was very open-ended. It was like, here's a suggestion or a direction that we think would work. What do you guys think? And if it was like, I don't know about that. Like, I could just speak for like my behalf, like getting ready and doing stuff. They're like, okay, cool. And we're like, if you weren't about it or you wanted to do something different, like, all right, no problem, let's go do that. I think a better way to put it is like they were like a guide, right? They're like, these are the avenues we can go down. Whatever one you want to get to, we'll get you to the end of it. So
I love it.
they were super beneficial. Nothing was ever pressured or pushy. The crew was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I even was like, hey, like I want very specific things, and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll make it happen, and they did, and they crushed it.
And I think to like go off of that too, I think it's more like, like sometimes when you get pictures done and they're like, okay, like pose or be yourself, and then you start getting a little bit of awkwardness, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, what do I do now, or how do I pose, or and it wasn't like that. Like it was more like, all right, just do this, and it was like it just flowed, like the whole thing, and they're like, okay, act normal, start like it kind of just made me feel comfortable, and I felt like myself, where I wasn't like, oh yeah, now he's making me do this pose that I don't know, like it's gonna be awkward, like
Right.
and I feel weird, but like no, like it was, the whole thing was just great. Like that team was phenomenal.
And I think they did a really good job of like capturing an authentic experience. Like
I
there's
agree.
like really good candid photos and videos of like even just me messing around with my friends doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was in our wedding video, and it made me like laugh and just really like appreciate it. I was like, the fact that they put like that stupid like little interaction in there is like, because that shows truly who we are as a group of friends.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like this I don't want to say like it wasn't like a fake experience, right? It wasn't like all just like the really pretty, everything is perfect. It showed a real side of it too. It showed our human interactions with our family and friends. It had all that beautiful stuff in there as well, but there was a lot of like real moments that they captured. Whether it was somebody crying or laughing or you doing something silly with a family member.
Yeah.
All that stuff was in the photos and in the video, and you really felt like you got a true experience and like you were actually there for the stuff and watching it present, not like watching an actual like production film.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was obviously a very high level production film.
I understand.
But it wasn't like a scripted, like, okay, we're just going to only show the best bits that we think are pretty. It was like, no, this is like real life. This was what the wedding was.
It was like the real
finish.
us with our family and friends.
Fantastic. That's like,
It was no cover up. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, act like this, act like that. It was literally how we are with our family and friends, and it was like real.
I mean, that's it. Capturing the real you, the real family, and retelling the story for you that seems authentic, is authentic, and is real. Well, that blesses me, and I love my team. I love that team. It was wonderful. We definitely push for that, and so it's just great, and it works, and it takes an amazing couple to work with that, right? Here you are, as you say, because likes to be in control, has what you call OCD or whatever, which is a good thing in a relationship, to have somebody who can kind of do that for us, because I would say my wife keeps our house in shape and keeps me online because of how structured she is, and it's amazing. So terrific. Allows me the ability to fly, but also controlled. And so very, very cool. But the fact that you have that, and then to still be able to trust in the entire group is amazing. And so very, very cool. So let's go ahead and before we put a pin in the photo video, you guys ended up getting pretty much every single deliverable I think we can give.
Yes.
You were just like, we got the teaser, we've got the highlight, we got the full length, we got the ceremony document, the reception. Like you guys couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And that blesses us, because as artists who do the work, like that's all we want to do is make you happy and have the ability to kind of have this stuff for you forever. And I'm glad that you chose the video side of things as well, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to leave that out, for a myriad of reasons. Sometimes it's, well, I'm going to use a sort of a content creator, which we can do that, but that's kind of cool. I feel like that should be an addition too when needed, because that's sort of trendy, and that's sort of going to fade at time. But what's not going to fade is the timeless treasure that was captured in your video and your deliverables. So take me through, what was the inspiration behind wanting to lock in and do an actual video for your wedding besides the photo? We know photo you have to do.
I mean, I know I have some reasons. I don't know if you.
All right, go ahead.
So like, I'm very big on like keeping memories, right? I think it's important. I lost my father at a very young age, and I'm not trying to make this a sad turn of events, but like, you cherish those things, especially when you don't have people, right? So like family members, grandparents, things like that, to see them, see their interactions, or like hear their voice or something like that in a video, that's something that like you'll always treasure forever if you want to get on the sad, sappy part of it. But also like, I remember growing up and like watching like my parents' wedding video, they'd put it on occasion, or my aunt's, and like, it's also it's a funny little like time capsule, right? Like you're like, wow, look at how things were back then. Look how young you guys were. Like all these different things come up, or even like seeing yourself in a video, all those years later. And then eventually when we have kids, it's going to be really cool to sit them down one day and be like, look, this is mommy and daddy's wedding. And like, look at grandma, look at grandpa, look at them like all these years ago. I think personally, that's probably one of the most important reasons to get video. While pictures are great, there's something about like having a real life, like moving component, like seeing people in the way that they were. I think it's important to keep that. That's just me personally.
I mean, if you want to add, fine, but say no more.
He said it all.
Yeah, say no more.
He
That's
literally
it.
just like said everything.
That's it. I'll add this. We sometimes at the bridal shows, when we're trying to encourage people to purchase video or to invest in video, we'll say to them, we need your kids to know why they are the way they are when they watch mommy and daddy back at their wedding.
Yeah.
So, but I do know my kid loves when he gets to see us moving and grooving, and to your point, capturing the memories in motion and being able to sort of, see the mannerisms in the way is special. So very cool. And we're glad that we were able to provide that as well. And obviously timeless photography. I mean, did you get any of these pictures kind of printed out or set up for your home?
Yeah.
Take me through if there's any. Do you have any canvas prints or things going on? What did you put around your home?
So we did for our parents. We did a canvas picture of the one picture of us by the gates where they do the ceremonies at the Shadowbrook, and I even posted that picture, and I've got so many compliments on it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that should be in a magazine," or "You guys look great. That's such a phenomenal picture." So we kind of like blew it up for like our parents, and they actually hung it up in their houses.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And anytime you go over there for Sunday dinner or you do the thing and all of a sudden you see the photo, you're just reminded, right? What happens when you see the picture? You got to have, every once in a while, you got to just continue to be like, wow, that was a great.
I say it all the time. I wish we could do it again.
Yeah, I wish we could go back.
It was just so fun. Like, I mean, it was just a great time. Like, the party was amazing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that.
Yeah. Like, I like to socialize and be around people and have fun and party and stuff like that. So, like, I'm always looking for an excuse to have another party.
I know. We love it. Well, let's get there. So, I know you did your church offsite at St. Joe's, right?
Yes.
You did your ceremony over there, and I know that was beautiful. And then brought yourselves over to the Shadowbrook for the cocktail and the reception. So, take me through. Okay, before we go day of, now let's talk about the entertainment. And when I started to go over that with you, what were the things that started to get you excited about saying, all right, we're going to go now with Fresh New Angle for their entertainment?
I think, like, you call yourself, like, Chucky Hype. Like, you got us excited for a party that wasn't even, like, remotely close. And
Like, from the
the
start.
start. Like, I was ready for a party when I left your office. Like, the way that you delivered, like, this is what we can do. This is how it's going to be. And you're like, we can tailor it to what you want. And we're like, oh, we want a party. And you're like, oh, we can do that without a problem. You're also like, we can dial it back if we need to, right? You're like, we offer everything, but we're like, no, like, let it get as crazy as you want, because we have a big family that likes to party and likes to dance. And we were like, it needs to be brought in order to keep everybody out there. Like, our families are on the dance floor from the time you get in until they're getting kicked out. So we're like, we got to make sure that the energy can stay high. And I had full faith and confidence in you before I even left your office.
Yeah.
So I think that was
I
the
feel
big
like
thing
once
there.
we came to your office the first time and sat down and talked to you, like, we left and there was like no doubt in my mind. I'm like, that's it. Like, he's it. Like, Fresh New Angle is definitely going to bring the hype. Like, we didn't have any doubt in you guys, because the way you delivered yourself with us was like, it was the real you, and you delivered.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. That's the passion that our whole my whole team, they share.
Yes.
And I'm super blessed that it was me that got to be the MC person, the kind of point man on the party with DJ Meatball.
Yeah.
But I know that my entire team, if you had your first experience with either of them, you would have been just as excited. But at last, it had to be me.
Yeah.
And it was. And we try to understand when you meet with us, if it's a Zoom call, whatever, we want to try to understand what's going on inside your brain, because there's a vision and there's a vibe and there's a thing that's happening. You're drawing up the canvas, the picture in your head. And it's our job to sort of get that information and try to help you kind of get in the moment. And so what we try to do, and it sounds like we did a good job of it, was sort of put you at your party before you were even there and sort of walk you through what these things could look like. And good. So that's all part of the process. So fast forward, we select Fresh New Angle, we're moving forward. We make the commitment together to be May 4th, 2025. that it's going to be amazing at the Shadowbrook. And so then, as you said, that whole process leading up, there was, the monthly reminders, the this and that. There was the constant communication, and ultimately there was getting ready for our client details, where we went over the music and the production. I believe we also had the televisions
Yes.
there, and the televisions we used to put a really cool logo up for your wedding, and we were also able to put some other media up there and showcase some fun things there. I know that the Shadowbrook had the sparklers and all that fun stuff, but we coordinated with the sparkler team to make sure they were executing them at the right moments and the right times while we were doing the things we wanted to do. And you also used us for the photo booth experience as well, right? And so that was always a fun way to break into the party. And we had how many guests were at this wedding?
275.
It's awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. It felt good to get and do one of them big ones again, because that was the way weddings were for a while. They've tailored back a bit. And so when we got a chance to get out there with 275 plus crazy party animals, that was amazing. And I remember personally getting on site, and you guys were doing your little cocktail hour, and we had some little conversations, right? Just kind of reiterating some of the amazing things we talked about on our details calls. And while we were doing those things, found out there was a handful of guests that we did their wedding, right?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That was pretty special. I definitely felt very home for me. And, when we build these relationships with our bride and grooms or couples a year before the wedding and this stuff, it's nice when we can continue to interact like we did throughout the process, and ultimately just get more confident with each other, right?
Yeah.
And, you probably felt that your wedding was the only one in the world that I had to focus on.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's exactly how it felt. I know you guys are very busy and you have a lot going on. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's amazing, because you guys definitely deserve all the business you get, if not more. But if we had a question, we had a phone, it was almost like we had the entire team's undivided attention, and you guys stopped doing whatever you were doing and made us feel important and valued. And I think that's a huge thing in business that it's almost hard to get nowadays.
With AI and all that other stuff.
Well, it just in general, I feel like a lot of the personal element interaction of things nowadays isn't like it used to be. And to have somebody just feel like, all right, let me just stop doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to put all my undivided attention on you guys for a little bit. It's hard to come by nowadays. You always kind of feel like you're getting pushed off to the side by other people, because and get it, people are busy. I'm not trying to talk bad about people. It's the God's honest truth. The world's very busy. But we never felt that.
That's great. I love to hear that too.
You guys were always available, if I could put it that way. Whether it was communicating with you or communicating with your team, it's no matter what, we didn't feel like we were in the back seat. We felt like you said, we were front and center in your only wedding, when I know that you guys have a million other weddings. You guys do a lot of bridal shows and stuff. So while you guys are very busy, you guys make sure that your customers are top priority.
I love that. That's fantastic, and another blessing to hear on our end. Because, and listen, full disclosure, it doesn't take much to be able to give the time needed to whoever. Because at the end of the day, first off, you are the reason we're able to do what we do, right? And your trust to invest in our company to then deliver the service that you expect is an honor and a privilege. And so when it's time to lock in, we're going to talk to you like you're the only person in the world. And guess what? We can write our notes down. We can go ahead and file that, and then we can make our next phone call to whoever else needs to get it and kind of repeat the process. And so it's that's good. That's part of why my mission statement is to empower fantastic professionals. And that first part, I believe we do have fantastic professionals that work with us. We want to empower these fantastic professionals to give them the ability to capture and create new memories for awesome people. And so this is happening, and blesses me, reminds me that Fresh New Angle is the right vehicle and to kind of keep pushing forward. So very cool. So take me through some of the highlights of the fun factor. There's so many, I know, but I'm going to let you guys just talk about the entertainment side of things from sort of start to finish. If you can remember some of the fun highlights, I already have some in my mind, but I'll let you go.
We could start just with the entrances alone.
Yeah, the entrances were...
obviously, ours was great and everything, but we had some people that
and we didn't know like our groomsmen and our bridesmaids what they had planned. Like we were like,
we told
listen,
them, do what you want,
whatever you guys want to do. And when we really didn't get to see them like
until the video.
At the wedding until the video came out, and I just can't even
coordinating with them and letting them get as crazy as you wanted, and also like playing along with it and getting it even more built up than what it was. It was incredible.
You guys didn't hear it until you saw the video, but we were like playing into their theatrics.
Oh yeah,
right?
They had some crazy stuff.
I think the beer bong came out.
Yeah.
And
my gosh.
We were saying some things. They were riding on the little cars.
Little go-karts, yeah.
Which we turned that into an adventure later on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was another good.
Tell us about these little cars that they had.
So my best man and her maid of honor, for their entrance, they got like these little like kid go-karts that like lit up, but they were pretty quick, like even for an adult to be riding it. And they came in on them like drinking and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but they kind of got shoved in the corner, and then somehow they ended up on a dance floor, and almost everybody ended up doing laps on this thing while we were dancing. Ended up being really funny.
And there's actually a good picture of like him on one of them, like, you know, just like,
yeah, my cousins, my
was,
friends,
like, great.
everybody's
it was like a great action shot.
I love that. You know, funny story is that you can't read the shirt, but the shirt talks about Formula One racing. There's an amazing racer that's on my man's shirt, and we were talking about Formula One racing, and well, we weren't quite Formula One, but we had some fun little go-karts.
More like Formula Fun.
Formula Fun! Yeah! Oh, that's good. It was, Formula Fun.
But everything was great. I mean, the music, the entertainment.
T-shirt time.
Yeah. Yeah, we had all those, you know, crazy different. We had like the glow sticks and all that stuff. We put all that stuff out,
and that felt like we were at a concert.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
remember when you guys were DJing?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Bringing us up there, we thought we were like the only people that existed that night.
Well, you are the stars, but I'm you know, our job is to maximize fun, and we always tell our clients, and like you said, we can get as crazy as you need, but we also know how to work within the parameters of the family. And so when we have people that are on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the craziest, 1 being oofa, right? Our goal is to bring people that are a 1 and just get them to a 3, right? Just get them from being just disgusted about their life to at least kind of sitting up in their chair.
Right.
Okay. People that are, you know, a 3 or 4, get them to stand up. Right. And then people that are 7s, get them to a 10. And then people that are 10s, just send them to the roof.
Yep.
Right.
Through the moon. And we had a lot of 10s at your party.
Yes,
so that's when I saw these little Formula Fun go-karts hidden. I said, we're going to break these out. And this was when, toward the end of the party, when there wasn't 275 people there, but there were still 175 people. But in the Shadowbrook, that opens up space. We just started running laps.
I mean, even my mom ended up on one of them, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
like it was just.
And that's another thing you said, trying to get people to perk themselves up a little bit and get involved. Like, and I mean this in a good way. If you saw somebody sitting out, just kind of like tiptoeing, like looking like they wanted to maybe get involved, you were like the sniper. You got locked down on them, and you're like, "I'm getting you out here," and you forced them in a good way to have fun, right? Not forced in a bad way, like. You could tell like they're itching a little bit, but they just need that little extra push, and you get the people involved in a way that is organic, and it feels like another family member's like, hey, come on, let's just go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually gonna say like your whole team, like you feel like it feels like families helping.
You guys felt like you were, like we felt you guys were a part of our family. Like there was no like, oh God, like he's coming to grab me just to go like no, it was kind of like Chucky, wow, he pushed me to like I wanted to go dance.
Chucky's like that fun cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the fun cousin that gets you involved in doing stuff and he gets you out there and makes sure that the party keeps going and it's fun at all times.
I mean, at one point I feel like the whole wedding was on the dance floor. Like And that's a pretty big dance floor at the
Yeah.
Shadowbrook.
Oh,
I feel like every corner was like,
It was special. And again, kudos to you and your family and your guests. We're not going to our job, we're not going to sit here and take all the credit in the world, but playing good music, keeping it moving, keeping it timely, knowing when to play, what to play, how to play, all that stuff plays into it. The right amount of hype on the mic, right? All that good stuff. But it's a testament to an amazing family that loved each other, that cared about each other. At this point in time, you had about 8 or 9 years of history together.
Yep.
And so that stuff plays very nicely into the celebration. And so, yeah, that was one. I told you beforehand that this was going to be the wedding that we ran the promos off of. And I mean, we got your albums out at all the bridal shows. We have your we definitely run the testimony videos and all that fun stuff. So your energy and everything was amazing. I remember working behind the scenes with our team and working with the Shadowbrook team. You don't get to see what happens necessarily behind the scenes, but there's so much coordination that happens. And when you keep our whole team together, boy, it just runs so smooth from our perspective. Make no mistake about it. Our photographers can work with other entertainment companies. Our entertainment company can work with other photographers, and we do so often. But when we can keep the whole team together, it's just a choreographed dance. It's so good.
It was a very seamless integration, just from like the venue made everything feel perfect. Like even if they're like somebody like dropped a fork and the guy picked it up before they could even bend down. Like the venue did amazing, but you guys integrating with that staff and their level of like attention, and then your level of attention,
everything just ran like smoothly.
Yeah, like there was not a single hitch, and if there was, we sure as
didn't
hell
even
didn't know
know.
about it. Like there was not a single hitch in anything. Like even with like the lighting coordinator, we got a lighting coordinator, and he integrated perfectly with the DJ and all the entertainment stuff. Like you would have thought we were at a rave in Las Vegas because it was like that seamless and great. And you would have thought like this was a planned, coordinated show from start to finish. And the fact that they just worked together so well was really nice and really made our experience to another level.
Take me through. I want to shout out the Storino family and how they got involved with what they did for you guys at the event. Some of the details that they took care of for you.
So I'm friends with Anthony, Gianna's brother. We were pretty good friends. Spent a lot of time together, and they're a great family, and they're amazing. And we found out that Gianna started doing like party planning, like decorating and things like that. And we're like, oh wow, we were at a few parties that she did. Again, my cousin's also friends with that family, so when my cousin got married, they did her wedding, they did her bridal shower, I think, and things like that.
Yeah, they did like their gender reveal.
Like she did a bunch of events that like for friends and family that
I mean, they did Anthony and April's wedding.
Yeah, Anthony and April's wedding was amazing too. Obviously, I can't forget about their stuff. And we're like, why don't we just use them? I mean, it will be easy because we see them fairly often. They're great people, and she does an amazing job. And she was great. We sat down with her a handful of times, and she just explained to her, like, hey, this is what I think we want. And she helped guide us in a direction, too, that was really, like, it helped her because she's like, I think I want to do this. And she's like, all right, let's go down this path. And then she's like, well, what about this? And she opened up another, like, other opportunities.
I mean, like, even for, like, let's just say, like, our table, our sweetheart table, I was kind of like, I don't know, like, I was kind of like, I don't want just the table. Like, I do want, like, a tablecloth, but I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking, like, do you think, like, doing a black tablecloth with, like, the white flowers? And she's like, oh, my God, I love that idea. Like, I can't visually see it, but just me, like, throwing out ideas and then, like, her saying, yeah, I definitely see that, and, like, that'll look amazing. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, great. Like, I trust you. And if you say, like, it's going to look great, like, just go with it. And she did, like, amazing. Yeah. Whether it was, like, whether it was our entrance sign, whether it was, like, our seating chart.
Oh, the seating chart. Tell me about that seating chart.
So I've seen a couple of her seating charts, and I definitely saw the one that she did at April and Anthony's. Mm-hmm. She also did Gianna and Frankie's. And I just said to her, I was like, how do we go about like, doing a seating chart with like the colors and the theme of like what we're going for? And she's like, just look up like ideas and I can kind of just like create it by how you guys want it. And I have to say, I came up with a few ideas. I sent them to her. She created it and literally it just like you said, she brought it to life.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how are you going to be able, like, again, 275 people. I was like, how are you going to get this, like, on? She's like, don't worry. She's like, we got this. And literally, I gave her the list, what, like 2 weeks before?
Yeah. She's like, give us the finalized list.
I was like, are you sure? I'm like, is that going to be enough time? And she's like, oh, yeah, definitely. And let me tell you something. She's great.
Yeah, I know that family is fantastic, and I know that it's a family business for sure. And I know Anthony, Pastor Anthony, he's the construction guy behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And he said, they built that thing for you, custom built a wonderful seating chart that I looked at the wedding and was like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was them till after the wedding. I'm packing up and I see the Storino family who I'm very close with. We go to church together down at Trinity, and so it was just very cool to see you incorporate them as well into your wedding celebration and use some of their superpowers. So I wanted to make sure that Gianna got a shout out for that as well.
And she also, like, to add on to that, I have to say she does do like the seating chart. She did the memory table, but I have to say one thing. She also was very good and offered to us and was like, listen, anything you need, like, you want me to make sure, like, the flowers are the right way or this is added. Like, I gave her a list and we did the olive oil bottles as, like, our favors. It was
Perfect.
olive oil from Italy from my dad's parents' farm. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, hey, can you just make sure, like, there's one for each, like, couple at the table? She did everything. So, like, the stress that you feel like, oh, what about if they forget to do this? Or what about if they don't place the flowers right? Like, even though that wasn't her department, like, let's say, like, her physically putting, like, the flowers or anything, like, I could trust in her that she made sure everything was, like, perfect the way I wanted. And I didn't have to worry about, like, oh, gosh, like, did I remember to tell, like, the venue to do it this way or that way? Like, she just made sure everything was organized and it was perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, she went above and beyond, like, even her own responsibilities to help make sure that everything went flawless for us. And I know for a fact she didn't do it just because we're friends. That's something she would do because that's just who they are as people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're great people. So if anybody's looking to use somebody to help decorate and do things, definitely look into her stuff. I'm sure Chucky has all her info.
Oh yeah.
Put it out there.
They're great. You're gonna love them. They're so cool.
Great family.
Well, as we get ready to kind of land the plane, take me through what I guess guests or you guys a year later may be still talking about with regards to the celebration. You get together. I'm sure there's times where it comes up. I'm sure it's not like every single day, but whenever we're talking about things, take me through what people are still saying, if they're still saying things.
I kid you not, and I'm not making this, like, every probably few weeks somebody mentions something about our wedding, whether somebody we know is going to a wedding or we just went to a wedding, or we'll just be talking about a party or something comes up and they'll be like, that wedding was incredible. Like,
they're like, we're still talking about it today. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And like, sometimes you feel like, oh, like, I don't want to, like, not hate on somebody else's, like, but they're like, that was like the best wedding we've ever been to. And it kind of makes us feel like, wow, we like did the right thing. Like we
picked the right people
people that made our day like the best day possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's what we again, just love hearing it. And it's still one that we talk about too. So, they don't always all stand out from my perspective. We're doing maybe 3 a weekend, right? And so, but not this one. This one lives forever.
And this one was like I have to say, our wedding was us. Yes. Like it was what we wanted. So there's other weddings that people choose different things, and that's what they want. And like, as long as they're happy, like, hey, great. Like the bride and groom have to be the happiest and be like, that was the best day of my life. And I have to say, like, our wedding, we even like watch our wedding video and I wouldn't change anything if
Yeah,
I had to go back. Like, it was us, that wedding, like, it described me and him individually and together as a couple, because people to this day will bring up and say, when you guys were on that dance floor, even doing your dance together, we could see the happiness and love that you guys have for each other. And I feel like it made us feel better, because being up there, we felt on top of the world.
Yeah. I was going to say that too. I was like, there's not a single detail that I would have changed about anything that we did or chose, or like, I don't think it could have been any better. Like, rain and all, like, if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't change anything. Like,
No.
everything from soup to nuts with our wedding that you guys did and everybody else did,
Yeah, for sure.
was incredible. And
Yeah.
like I said before, I wish I could do it again. Like, I wish I could have another wedding.
Yeah.
because it was-
I do too. With my own party. It was terrific, and it's funny, but just wonderful, and absolutely love it. I'd say that we covered a lot here. What's the next step for you guys? What's going on now? We're into the summer 2026. What's the next steps for Angelina and Angelo?
We're
Definitely house hunting.
house hunting.
That kind of, stinks a little bit right now
Yeah.
because of the market, but
Yeah, we're doing our best trying to find a house. We're trying to find the right one for our family and our future family, right? Because we're going to be hopefully starting to have kids in the near future at some point. I don't know when, but soon, maybe. I don't know. And we want to make
we
sure
don't need a follow-up question there.
Yeah. We want to make sure we have the right place to start our little family and be happy moving forward.
Well, I will tell you this. Whenever you decide or God decides to give this to you, you both are going to be fantastic. You're going to be
Thank you.
amazing parents. You're going to have a wonderful support team. You're going to continue to evolve. And the foundation that you've built with your relationship over the last 10 years is going to come into play tremendously. You've got an advantage, and continue to lean in on what you've worked through, what you've worked toward. Continue to have conversations, continue to give each other grace. You do a very good job of that. Continue to evolve. Expectations of each other need to be tempered. That doesn't mean you should settle. It means both of you do the best you can to be better versions of yourselves, right? But without expecting from the other, because that's where we fall into, we build narratives up in our head. This is how it's going to be as a dad. This is how it's going to be as a mom. And it's always changing, always evolving. But you will be the right time when it happens. I have full faith, whether the house is secured or whether it's not. So just continue to love on each other, continue to trust in that, and lean on each other, and things are going to continue to work themselves out, even if they go through little ups and downs, peaks and valleys. So this has been awesome. I've been kind of a long time coming. I've been wanting to have this conversation, but I thank you so much, Angelina and Angelo. Hope you guys have like the greatest rest of your day. Obviously, we stay in touch, which is really wonderful. When are we going to get together and celebrate again? Continue to shout our names from the rooftops to your friends and family so we can celebrate again, even though it's not your personal wedding. I know a handful of those guests that had used us in the past were guests at your wedding and had the time of their lives again. So all you got to do is just go find some people and say, hey, let's go use this company and let's go celebrate without all the pressure.
well, we're definitely going to see you guys at my cousin's wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
November 8th, Marianne and Sean.
Yes.
They're getting married.
Yes.
At the
Marion and
Renault
Sean.
Winery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. We're
so
coming for you.
definitely bringing the hype there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome to party
Same.
with you guys again.
Same energy is going to be present.
It's definitely going to be the same energy.
It's going to be good.
And
going to be a great time.
we're excited
I can't wait
to be the guest at a wedding with you guys.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to be with them as well. It's going to be great.
It's amazing your own wedding. It is a very demanding night of you in a way. Like we made plenty of time for ourselves, but everybody
did.
pulls you in a lot of directions. So if you ever get the chance to go back to a wedding with Chucky and you get to be the guest, it's going to probably be 1,000 times more fun because you get to just enjoy all of it and not have your attention pulled in a million directions because
Yeah.
everybody wants to say hello and things like that.
And you guys bring the hype.
Yeah, so
doubt. No
it's
doubt.
going to be the best party that you've ever attended.
I love it. Well, You guys are the best, and I love you both.
Love you
Love
too,
you too.
Charlie.
Let's go.
Thank